Hello to all of my Libras. This is Queen Moon Ra coming to you with your midweek Wednesday reading, Libras. Hopefully, you all are setting your intentions every single day. We are coming up on this new moon. We're closing out this cycle. Woohoo! Woo. When you're the last, you coming in for the last home stretch. I guess that's what it's called. Like coming in for that last stretch. Like, okay, I'm winding down so I can get some rest in this new moon phase. Right? We're coming up on a new moon in Taurus on Friday. So Source really wants you to focus on what lessons you learned about yourself during this cycle. Are you allowing people to easily irritate you? Are you allowing people to weigh your internal scales out of alignment? Like you're allowing other people to dump their toxic emotions with gossip and low vibrating energy into your universe, or are you saying no, you're not bringing that stuff in my house, right? How are you handling things? Like, what lessons are you learning about yourselves? You'll know that you landed on the bright side of this moon in Taurus, or at least you're headed to the bright side of the moon on the Taurus and in Taurus. If you're feeling more trustworthy of yourself, you're like, I really trust my intuition, right? Um, you're feeling more determined emotionally. I'm determined to get this. I'm determined to live the life that I know that I deserve, and I can't let anybody disrupt that me with their issues and their problems. Um, I am warm. You know, you landed on your bright side if you feel warmer, and not necessarily temperature wise, like spirit wise. You feel like your energy is warmer, more inviting, is what I'm saying. Like you're very clear on what you want. People feel like it's a safe space. It feels like a warm space in your universe. You feel more affectionate and you feel more artistic, right? Remember, Taurus is ruled by Venus. Venus is the planet of love and pleasure, but it's also the planet of, art and music as well. All forms of love, from agape love, erotic love, all kinds of love, right? So let's get into your cards. Let's get right into your cards. Let's get into your cards. Right now we're in an interesting space, Libra, because Pluto, which is one of Scorpio's ruling planets, is retrograde right now. Pluto is literally the planet of power and transformation. It's the death rebirth planet. It's the only planet that's going to really help you to wipe the slate clean. And it's going to dig all the way down to your past life, your childhood, your ancestral line, and your family. Anything that caused, hurt, frustration, wounds, where you feel like, why do I keep attracting the same types of people? It's taking it all the way there, right? So this is a major reset for everybody. I want you all to keep that in mind when you're also interacting with other family members, your colleagues, your friends, everything. Everybody is feeling this. Not only that, Mercury is in post retrograde. So that means that when Mercury goes, or any planet is retrograde, that means you have to slow down and catch the message. It doesn't mean that the planets move backwards and they don't move at a slower pace, but you have to slow down. But Mercury being in post retrograde doesn't mean that you have to slow down as much and necessarily isolate yourself to get the messages that you need and what you need to purge in your life, whether it's in your family or whether it's currently in your life. You don't have to slow down, like come to a screeching halt, right? But what Source is saying to you, for somebody, somebody is finally moving on from you were, it looks like somebody was in a relationship with somebody, could have been in a romantic relationship with the person, and maybe they moved on, and so now it's becoming real to you, set in. Now it's time for you to really emotionally move on. There's no hope for going back. I've been enlightened, I've been burned enough, it's draining. I need to move on and stay in my light. Somebody was still looking for some kind of an approval, but it was actually cutting your money in half. And so Source says, when you move on from something, the approval that you were seeking from one or a couple of other people, you already gotten it from God. So all you need to do is move on from some kind of manipulative energy, and so that you can receive what you need from Source. Hopefully that makes sense to somebody. So whoever you were, whoever manipulated you, and you felt like a fool in the beginning, you're not a fool in reverse. The fool in upright means that you have a change of heart, you feel liberated, you feel free, right? So that's a good thing, right? You feel optimistic about your own your own future, right? So your intuition is extremely heightened, and that's it. For some people, it can feel like it's a burden, or it can feel like a blessing. You have a feeling, this is the High Priestess card, that somebody else may have already moved on, and for you, that burden is now lifted. So, unless your ego is involved, you may say to yourself, oh, I wasted my time, or I wasted my energy, or I wasted my tears, or, this person didn't really love me, or they, source is saying, but this is what you prayed for. You prayed to not feel like a fool in reverse. You prayed to be liberated from something. And so God had to do it for you. God did it for you to help you to move on from something. So I always tell people, be very careful what you pray for, because you're definitely going to get it. It may not be in the way that you want it, but God is into answering prayers. And so if you're not specific about how you want those prayers answered, let's say if it was a love situation, you can say, God, I need to move on from something completely. Give me an exodus strategy emotionally and physically out of a situation, and let me get to a point where I'm so healed that I can move on and be 100% present in a new relationship. But somebody could have been in a relationship and still emotionally attached to something else. So that cycle was never really closed. And that's why somebody may have felt foolish, like, somebody played me. Nobody played you. Source is trying to help somebody to move on from some things emotionally. Here we have the Empress card. We also have the World card. We also have the Wheel of Fortune. We also have the Strength card. We also have the Judgment card. We also have the Five of Wands. You're just at a higher frequency from some energies that you left behind, Libra, and you're going through a rebirth. You are going through a rebirth of sorts. Even if you have kids, you're going through. Remember how if you have kids, and I'm not trying to trigger anybody, but if you have kids, or you've ever been around somebody who was having kids, they try to keep the stress level down. People are trying to rub your feet or the person's feet, or trying to bring them healthy stuff, and trying to just keep the stress level down. Being around certain other people, you had to always you always had to entertain their demons, right? They're trying to burn you. They're trying to warm up to you 1 minute. The next minute they're starting arguments. Just a very stressful situation. And so Source has removed all the stress from your life. All you have to do is recognize that the cycle has already ended. It's already closed. Cycle closed, airtight, so that you can go into this rebirth a lot less stressful. So you should be proud of yourselves, Libra, saying, the people that try to cause me stress and try to cause me to come out and be arrogant, and even, accusing me of certain things, good luck with that. Time is on your side. Source is saying to you, giving you some time to kind of sort of catch up with your highest self. Your highest self at a higher frequency, it always feels like I'm by myself. Where is my person? Where are my friends? Where is this and where is that? Source is saying, I need you to get time. I need you to learn how to exist on that frequency, that higher frequency. So I'm going to keep you up there by yourself so that we can talk. You and Source can talk. So when you're in a higher frequency, sometimes I feel like you don't have any friends. It feels like people aren't calling you anymore. It feels like because God is trying to give you an opportunity to rest. We're in a waning crescent moon phase. This is the time for self-kindness, self-forgiveness, self-care. Don't be tempted to overwork during the waning crescent moon phase, because we're trying to close out this cycle, and so you can learn the lessons, so you can smoothly enter into a new phase within a new cycle that kicks off on Friday. See how this works? Here we have the Queen of Clubs, we have the King of Clubs, we have the Six of Clubs, we have the Two of Diamonds, we have the Five of Spades, and also the Queen of Spades. Right? So we got all this king queen energy, right? And so Source is saying to you, you got the King and Queen of Hearts, or King and Queen of Swords. Do not step down off of your throne. Somebody is incredibly smart. Now you're much wiser because of a situation. You also have the Queen of, like I said before, this is the King and Queen of Clubs. This is, the King and Queen of, God wants you to remain happy, charismatic, and free. They want you to remain the King of Ideas. I'm talking to men and women. And also you have the Queen of Hearts. Queen of Spades, which is sword energy. And so sword energy is like, okay, now I'm vetting all the thoughts that come across my mind. All of the thoughts that come across my mind. Five of Spades, right? So Source is like, every time you look back over the past, it makes you look like you're hostile. So it's like a person who's cutting their nose off to spite their face, even though people kept you in fight mode. So it's like turn around from the past and move into your own future of operating in your purpose. And that's how we also have the Six of Clubs, which is Wands energy. Again, sources like you're already victorious. You're already, that's what I'm saying. Somebody no longer feels foolish, like the fool in reverse, like they feel like, I made the wrong decision. Like you're finding things to focus on, like that's going to keep you in that energy until we have the Two of Diamonds. And so this is the Two of Pentacles. So source is saying to you, now I'm about to send information across your path that's going to help you, that's going to help keep those ideas going to make additional streams of income. So kudos and congratulations to you. Like I said before, this has been a long journey for somebody to ascend higher. Be grateful. I mean, really, if you can think about like finding the silver lining in a situation that you left behind, it could have been a whole family of people that you left behind. You're certainly breaking generational chain cycles and curses. So it could have been a whole family that you left behind. And if you haven't left your family behind, please don't. Remember, take only what resonates with you. But some people have left their entire family behind because it was just that low vibrational, that much infighting, jealousy, envy, and it was just too confusing. So you may have had to walk away from that as well. Whatever you walked away from, source is saying, I'm giving you something creative, like a new muse, whether it's in the form of a person, place, or thing. I'm giving you something creatively that's something you can sink your teeth in, something where you're going to have incredible ideas and it's going to make you money. So source is saying to you, somewhat, whatever kind of approval you were waiting for in terms of money is coming across your path. But don't let your emotions about another situation cause you to get frustrated, right? King of Spades. So this is king of your emotions. So you got the king and queen of spades. That's king of your emotions, and then the king of wands. Again, source is saying to you, king of wands came out twice. You got double ideas about things. Again, source is saying somebody could have two incredible ideas about something. And so source is saying to you, victory and also expansion on the horizon for you. So stay focused. Here we have the Two of Hearts here. And so source is saying to you, soulmate energy is coming across your path. And then also the Ten of Hearts, you got your soul tribe, and you're talking about a nice family for you if that's what you want. And then we have the Two of Clubs here. Source is saying to you, this energy is, let me see if I saw that in this one number in particular in here. This energy is very inspiring. This energy is also, they inspire you in a way to keep on moving forward. I see you all traveling together, coming up with a lot of great, really great ideas. Just like helping you to see the expansion of the whole world, and like you're seeing things through a different lens, not from a stressful situation where we go through many rebirths, but whatever you came out of, whether it was a family situation, marriage situation with kids or not kids involved, friendships, whatever you came out of is going to be very different on the other side this time. And that's what source wants somebody to focus on, and make sure you are not stressed out so that you miss out on seeing a soulmate or soul tribe right in front of you because you're still talking about certain things that's keeping you in a stressful state of mind. So that's what source is trying to help somebody to do, Libra. So, but you're going to be fine. Like I said, I see victory in your cards. Somebody may be thinking about creating some kind of a dessert something or some kind of a sweet treat. But that's how people are going to look at you. They're going to see you as like, a very sweetheart person. That's what I'm saying. Don't let whatever you're leaving behind cause you to be so angry and frustrated that you miss out on the blessings that source is trying to send your way. People are really going to see you as a sweetheart moving forward because you're letting source take the lead. See this 5 right here? 5 is a pivotal point. 0 is like saying that God is saying to you that you're limitless, right? Go and look at the numbers on my second channel. That number 0 is very powerful. For you, it's going to feel like, okay, it was a blurb in the space and time where you were left some things behind, because this chapter of your life is going to be so overwhelmingly pleasing for you. It's going to be like, for somebody, it's like a dream. Like, I can't even believe it. But it's because of the work that you had to do, and just first realizing that you are already wired to be a very fair sign. So anybody that you left behind who trying to manipulate you to say that you're not, they don't even have a leg to stand at. They don't even have a toenail to stand on at this point, because you've been so fair and other people have witnessed you being fair. There's nothing they can say. People would just look at it like, you know what, that person is delusional. Go on, Libra. Live your best life, right? So, like I said before, people will definitely see you really, really as a sweet treat when you've left behind energies that have burned you in the past. And even if they were to try to warm up to you, it's like, nah, you burned a bridge. You set a whole fire. You set a whole, it's like, it's one thing when people use their fire for warmth. It's like sitting around a bonfire. But when people are using their fire to light up a whole forest, and then everybody is telling them, run, stay away from those types of energies, and you being the fair-minded person that you are, and you're saying, wow, they can't be that bad, until they burn you, like with certain blow torches, or they manipulate you with their words, cut you deep with their words and actions, and manipulate everybody around you. You sitting there confused, like, oh my God, what kind of narcissistic, psychopathic, sociopathic mess did I just come up out of? That's when you're going to realize that's what everybody was talking about, right? So again, you don't even have to argue your point, Libra. You've already won. I mean, for real. Like, when you really think about it, you got to just look at it from a higher frequency and say, okay, why did God allow me to go through these things? I'm already a fair-minded person. I would rather get along with people than fight. If they brought that out of me, they must have deserved it, right? And I'm talking to you if you're already a high vibrational Libra. Somebody just tried to bring you down to their frequency, and sources like, nope, all you need to do is clip that, close out that cycle, and move on up. And that's what I'm seeing. So there's no reason for somebody to feel like a fool at all. It's like you just had to learn lessons of being overly fair. That's an overgiver. But you got to take it all the way back to your family to find out who in your family was an overgiver. A lot of times people will find out mom, dad, grandparents, they gave people 1,001 chances. They just would not leave dysfunctional, and it could have been that time that they were in. But you being a more progressive person, and where you are right now, saying, just because mom and dad or grandparents did it this way, don't mean I have to stay in anything dysfunctional, whether it's a marriage, whether it's a job, friendship, or nothing, or whatever. I don't have to stay into things where it's weighing me out of alignment, right? So a fiery climax approaches. Yeah. Let me remind you all of something, Libra, just in case you all forget, but I try to remind you all, you and the other air signs in particular, because that's how you recharge. If you remove air from anything, any living thing, it's going to die. That's what makes you so powerful. Give it no conversation, no overthinking, no nothing. You have already been fair enough. Now it's time to fire them. Fire them, fire them, fire them. They burned a bridge. You're not interested in, even if there's kids involved. How you're doing is none of their business. Send a very strong message that playtime is over. I've been overly fair with you. How I'm doing is none of your business. And if you talk about the kids, then the kids are fine. But as far as me, how I'm doing is none of your business. What I'm doing is none of your business. Who I'm seeing is none of your business. Who is my new friends or my new soul tribe? None of your business. And you can say it in a very kind way that sends it in a very firm but, constructive way, where you're not trying to hurt anybody, but you're sending a message so strong they get it. Trust me, they'll get, okay, I'm not trying to overstep any boundaries. Okay, just in case we were on the wrong sheet of music, let's make sure we all on the same sheet of music, the same page. What I'm doing is none of your business. So that's what I'm saying. And the same thing for some of the family members. None of their business. You lost all privileges to my universe. And then if you want to go talk to, Harry's, Joe, Susan, and Tom about what's going on in my life, then you go ahead and listen to whatever that is. But you didn't hear from my mouth, so I don't care what you believe. But that's what I'm saying for you all, Libra. This has been a journey for you all. But like I said before, somebody's going to have to be okay with leaving bridges burn that people have burned, and you not extending any more olive branches to try to get across that bridge. No matter who around you is saying to you, Well, maybe, time has passed, time heals all wounds. They don't know how bad somebody burns you. Stop letting people convince you that time heals all wounds. Time is relative. For some people, just seeing somebody after 10 years brings a whole rush of memories come back. Stop letting people try to control you, Libra. Like I said before, you're at a higher frequency right now. And even if they were to come up to a higher frequency and apologize, okay, it's still up to you to accept the apology or not. But bottom line is, that doesn't mean that you're gonna get access to my universe again. I don't know what planet they think they on. But anyway, Libra, that is what I have for you. Like I said, continue ascending higher and continue being greater. It's best for you to be by yourself where you can think and process what happened to you than for you to be down in a low frequency where there's a bunch of chaos and confusion and a bunch of master manipulation and all of that other craziness going on. But that's what I have for you. Take your air supply back. That's how you take your power back unapologetic. Take your air back. I'm not talking about it. I'm not overly thinking about it. If it comes across my mind, I'm not getting down off my throne. I'm too wise about the situation because every time I talk about it and go back to it, it makes me come across and look like the bad person. So I'm at this point, let whoever think whatever. That's what I got for you, and I will see you all on Friday. Bye.